Hi there, Capricorn. Welcome to your October 2025 General Tarot reading. It's Rena here. Okay. Let's see here. Well, we're coming off the eclipses, and one of the things about that is that you can see old problems in a new way because things may have shifted in some area of your life, be it your career or your love life. The heart of the matter is the Nine of Wands, and this is a card of the person who is, kind of watching their back, waiting for something to happen in some cases. I always connect emotionally with a narcissistic personality that maybe you got away from, or that actually left you, but you finally have realized that that was the best thing that ever happened to you, and then that person comes back into your life. Maybe they start calling or emailing you or talking to someone that you know and trying to find out information about you. So that can be one thing. I also, just the theme of boundaries in general. And this can be like needing them, wondering what is appropriate for them. In the past position, we have Two of Cups, and this is like being reunited with someone. So this is why I'm saying about with the Nine of Wands, you're wary of someone who is trying to come back into your life in some cases. Also, the Two of Cups is a card of commitment. So it's like sometimes people commit, get married, move in with someone, and then they realize, oh wow, I have to have these boundaries because if I give an inch, they take a mile. Those kinds of things. And it's like you realize it's not as simple as you thought it was, that there's actually more that you have to kind of deal with. The higher message is the King of Cups. This is about self-mastery in terms of your emotions, being able to, and this is a spiritual perspective, so it really behooves you to be able to understand how important it is to have the emotional capacity to know what feels right and what doesn't. And that's where the boundaries come in, because a lot of people, they kind of question themselves and they think maybe I'm being too strict. Maybe I should let go more. This person is just asking for this, why am I getting so uncomfortable? Because you may realize that it's never enough, that you're dealing with someone, you give in one situation and then they just keep asking for more. And that maybe it's a one-sided street. This is also a card that can be connected to like a spiritual advisor or even like a counselor of some sort. So whether it's a therapist or a spiritual teacher that you are dealing with, or maybe that working with some kind of a spiritual healer is the way to really understand what I was just talking about, like how it shows up in your life on a daily basis and how you react and how you can change how you react to that situation. And also, the attitude that you have towards certain things in the first place, because you may feel like it's your responsibility to make someone happy when, it's it actually can't even happen. That's the sad thing about it. I wish we could make other people happy. It's an inside job. And that's the trap that a lot of people get caught in, and that's where codependency can really take root. What crosses you is the King of Wands, and this suggests a lack of autonomy in your life. I would say that sense of feeling powerless, not stepping into your own power in your life. And so that's why it's almost like this defensive posture, like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, you're on pins and needles about something. And one of the reasons that happens is that a person has been used to being in that position of like always anticipating, what is it going to be next? And when you're in that type of relationship, that is a red flag that it is not a healthy relationship. And so and when I say relationship, I'm talking about if you've broken up with someone, but they're kind of sniffing around again. That kind of thing is happening because that person maybe they want to get your energy again. That's what we call the energy vampires. That's what malignant any narcissist is that. They're feeding off of other people's energy, and so they're always looking for new supply, and then they go back to the old when they have exhausted the recent supply. So you have to be aware of these things and how you can prevent them from your perspective. And one of them is understanding your sovereignty, understanding what you possess naturally as a human being, and not feel like somebody can overpower you, even on an energetic level. What's coming in is the Nine of Pentacles. This is a card of, on the physical level, this is interesting because this is a card of financial independence. Capricorn is Pentacles. So is Taurus and Virgo. So this could be, I would even say with this particular card, it reminds me of Virgo because Virgo begins in the 9th month. So I don't know if that is true or not, but I definitely think that this is a card affirming you in terms of your essence. And it's almost like getting that back so that you're not worried about somebody else and what they're doing and what they're not doing. This is a card of, being able to sustain yourself. And yes, we can talk about it on a material level, like the person is financially independent, but it can, when we're talking about general readings, we can like kind of extend that in a symbolic way to include just the basic way that you are living life and you as a sovereign being. And the outcome is the Knight of Wands. This can be one of those things, I'm not a Capricorn, but I did experience this one time myself, where because you're under this great indoctrination, or if, let's say you were married for 20 years to a controlling person, even if you choose to leave, it may feel very, very uncomfortable. And you may have a period of time, it's almost like a detox period where you're just like feeling off kilter and things like that. And then all of a sudden you wake up one day and it's like all of that ends and you begin your new life. The Knight of Wands is a very adventurous energy. I would never like associate it with the sign of Capricorn in terms of personality traits. it's supposed to be connected to Sagittarius, but I would say, to me, Aries is even more appropriate because knights are the warriors and fire is the very passionate energy. It doesn't really matter because fire is all about expansion. And you may realize that, as much as you are, with the Nine of Wands, you're kind of watching your back, you may realize that you can throw caution to the wind and just revel in your freedom. Because maybe something is finally over with that you thought was going to be there forever. But you have to get out of that habit of feeling like you're in a prison, Okay, that's what I have for you, Capricorn. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, I do astrology and the tarot, and I do both together in some of my package deals. You can find out more information at the link below. Thanks for watching. Bye.